You're watching Drakewing Gaming. Enjoy the video.
Hey guys and gals, Nary here from Drakewing Gaming. It's something to me on Twitter, The Gaming Drag. Today I'm coming back at you with another Let's Play episode with a new Let's Play series on Beyond the Harbor. So since we're done with a Scary Gourmet, I wanted to fill in the slot with another spooky game, and you can probably tell from the droning background music that this is going, and the red backlight and the silhouette, that this is going to be real spooky one, y'all. I'm actually thinking that this is probably a Lovecraftian detective furry visual novel. If that's the case, then sign me the fuck up. I am all into this. Alright, y'all, let's go ahead and jump right back in. Alarm chain, you are up, and let's go. Boy. Alright, let's do it. Beyond the harbor. Ooh, nice art. The bus hums quietly as it rounds a turn. At least I think it was a turn. About 20 minutes ago, a dense fog had rolled in, obstructing my view of about anything, really. Not that there was much to look at anyways. Even an outsider like me could tell this little town was out in the boonies. About 5 hours into the trip, the road became particularly rough, and I couldn't focus on anything other than the seat shaking me around. My ass hurts. It would hurt a hell of a lot more if Mama knew where I was actually going. I was lying through the tips of my teeth when I told her I was going to spend the weekend looking for a new job. In reality, I'm hooking up with a sketchy dude I met on 4chan. Oh god, that's a bad idea! Jesus! Kid, what the fuck is wrong with you? I don't think she'd ever forgive me if I got myself murdered. But it was time I stopped dreaming and took the leap. Yeah, dude, you're gonna get murdered. Holy shit, you're gonna get murdered. I raised a finger to my head to adjust my earbuds. I bought these ones recently. Wireless. They were a convenience of the modern age for sure, as long as you just disregarded them getting lodged in your ear canal, because the tech wasn't quite there yet. Speaking of... Hey, where are you now? I quickly type out a response. Just pulled into Harborton. It's a town called Harborton? Really? Jesus. The town also sounds sketchy. I think we're heading to the main terminal now. The reply is almost instant. I leaned back into the seat, nose pointed skyward, and let out a long sigh. I've got butterflies in my tummy, and it's likely not just from the sudden change in altitude. Oh, I thought he was on a bus. Yeah, I thought he was on a bus. He's got to be on a bus. That can't be a plane. This doesn't look like a plane at all. Okay, maybe it's a sky bus. I jumped back up when I heard the loud ding of the intercom overhead. Now arriving, Harborton Central Terminal. Without even thinking, I bring my free hand to my chest and grab a ring, hung gently around my neck. I mumble a quiet prayer before I shove my phone back into my pocket and stand up. Too quickly as the blood rushes into my legs all at once, and I'm overcome with painful pins and needles. Fuck! I blurt out the word as I was taught not to say in situations like this, drawing the attention of an elderly woman seated a bit further ahead. Hey, what's that mouth? There are children here! I raise my hands and shake my head, making eye contact with the terrifying husk of a woman. Sorry, please, I apologize. I could play an innocent when I needed to. Wasn't much of a potty mouth, but I wasn't a saint either. I see her eyes squint at me from inside those sunken sockets. She quietly judges me, and after deeming me unworthy, she purses her lips and returns to, Actually, I had no idea. Perhaps this entity was put in place to monitor public transit for all eternity. I was fortunate enough to survive this encounter, but any further assault on family values would have dire consequences. Second, y'all. Water time. I breathed another sigh, this time much quieter than the last. I'd kept my suitcase on my person since I nearly lost it on the first bus transfer. It's nowhere near heavy, as it only packaged the bare essentials. A couple outfits, my laptop, my phone charger. Maybe I should have bought a ticket. Should have brought a ticket. I wheel myself up to the front of the bus, passing the dried-up creature vaguely resembling a woman. Her hollow eyes stare right through me, her mind no doubt conjuring some story about how a beaner assaulted her on the bus to post to Facebook. Maybe just calling me a dumbass instead of something outright malicious. I bet you Gladys and Barbara will get a kick out of that. I chuckle quietly as I step out of the interior I had barely had enough time to grow accustomed to. As soon as I do, I'm assaulted with a chilly ocean breeze. He's cute. Definitely should have brought a jacket. Oh well. Travel guide wasn't kidding. There's a sort of saltiness in the air that's hard to describe. I'm a long way from home, huh? Gone were the endless fields of corn, in their stead, salt. Great start, huh? I wonder how good the food is. My daydreams of food are interrupted by another sharp ping from my phone. I pull it out of my pocket and open it up. Behind you. Gah! I stumble backwards, landing hard on my ass, and twisting my tail in a way I describe as less than comfortable. Standing over me, victorious, was the man I'd come to see in the first place. Damn, that never gets old. You think people would stop wiping out when I spook them, eh? I blinked my eyes repeatedly, making sure this was actually the guy that sent me his picture. He was quite a bit shorter than I was expecting. Juan, right? He grins, polished teeth reflecting on the sunlight. I certainly hope I didn't just sexually harass a random guy. He hesitates for a second, weighing his words. Or maybe I would, if the random guy was as good-looking as you. What? Hey, red fucking flag there. The toothy smile returns as he reaches out a hand to help me up. Well, that's one hell of a first impression. Second impression? Fuck, I don't know how online meetups work. He slits his eyes at me, massive grin never leaving his face. I have a feeling you knew what you were signing up for. I tilt my head to the side a bit as I chuckle and take his hand. Guess you're proof that not every anon is X is a neckbeard. He pulls me up with a surprising amount of strength, especially for his size. You look like I could grow a beard, even if I really wanted to? Nah. He lets go of me as my feet end up square on the ground again. I'm a lot of things, but a bear ain't one of them. Taking now, water time. The cat looks me up and down before resuming. You Juan? You've seen your fair share of bears, eh? I shake my head. Nope, and it's just JC, thanks. He slits his eyes and licks his chops. And you can... Okay, this is really fucking weird. And you can call me Daddy if that's what you're into. The entire station goes eerily silent as the cat's bold flirting reaches a climax of sorts. Unable to hold it in, I clutch my belly as it shoots a deep laugh into my throat and out of my mouth. Feline's eyes widen, clearly not the reaction he was expecting. Damn. He folds his arms. I shake my head as my laughter slows, wiping a single tear from my eye. No. My laughter slows down enough that I can elaborate through my bursts of chuckling. It's been ages since I heard that one. I had a friend that would pull that same kind of stuff. The guy was a dingo about your height, always made me laugh. He smiles at me. Well, if you like that, there's plenty more to come. His devilish grin spreads further across his face. I like a challenge. The last few chuckles escape my belly, and I do my best to fix my hair with my hand. I fold my arms and nod my head, a smile remaining on my face throughout. I think you and I will get along just fine. Don't let your guard down, detective. Remember your goals and stay focused on the case. Oh, so he's the detective. Okay. Honestly, I thought what was going to happen is that we were going to see him get murdered, and that the game would take place from the point of view of the detective. Okay. Remember your goals and stay focused on the case. So, tell me, how'd you end up on X? I shrug my shoulders. I saw some guys on a true crime forum I followed talking about, like, real crimes that happened on 4chan. So, of course, what do but go check it out for myself. Ooh, excuse me. I saw the option, so I created an account and jumped into the first board I could think of. Requests. I posted as one does, where can I find some information about cold cases I couldn't find on Google, and, probably would have been for the best if I hadn't. I shake my head. Using the same username for every site was a mistake. Some fucker hacked my RuneScape account. The cat side-eyes me. Damn. I know kids do stupid things, but... He smiles. You were that dumb as a teenager too, huh? I grin back at him, resting my arms on the top of the car seat. Guess I always have been. Though, give me a break, eh? I had to be the beacon of positivity when things got rough. I chuckle. My little brother had to learn from somebody, you know. Didn't stop him from being an annoying little shit, though. The cat stares back at me. Annoying sibling, There you go. Water time. He pulls the car into the park, rolling his sunroof back up as he does. You planning on killing him? Is that why you're into criminology? I chuckle, though I feel it comes off as less genuine than I'd like to. Hasn't everyone dreamed of killing someone? The cat doesn't respond, just turning away from me. There's a painfully dead silence that hangs after my joke falls flat. I'm able to stomach the awkwardness for long to change the topic to something I'm a bit more interested in. So, tell me. Oliver Blanche, you said he was a friend of yours. The cat nods his head as he taps his car door closed with his butt. Yep, we went to high school together, like I said on Discord. Though he was a grade under me, and the only time we ever really interacted was when I was a sophomore. I tilt my head. Really? 10th grade? If he was only one grade behind you, what happened? Did you have a falling out? He shrugs his shoulders, walking over to my side of the car. I was never in with his friend group. Don't get me wrong, kid was cute as hell. Back then I'd bag just about anybody. So of course I made an effort when I saw how close he was with another dude. I raised an eyebrow, folding my arms. But there were issues. Issues like? He presses a discreet little button on his car key, ordering the trunk to open. Ollie's friend group, it was really small. I heave my suitcase out of the trunk, and once it's firmly on the ground, sling my canvas messenger bag over my shoulder. He was weird, didn't talk to people, missed school a lot. I'm pretty sure V and Don were the only people that bothered talking to him, and even then he was quiet. With my free hand, I bring up my index finger and gently tap my skull. The cat interrupts my thinking with an obnoxiously bright smile. I can give you some more deets when we get settled in, eh? I hesitate a second before nodding my head. Kino. I turn my gaze upwards toward the neon sign contrasting the blue sky just beyond it. Denser? The cat lifts his own suitcase out of the trunk before shutting it. This is where I stayed last time I was in Harborton. It's one of the nicer motels by the beach. He smiles, closing his eyes tight. Direct access to the harbor. That's what you wanted, right? My eyes open a little wider as those words pass his lips. Yes, I really want to see it. Let's go ASAP. He interrupts my excitement by wiggling a defiant finger in front of my face. Don't you think we'd better make sure we have a bed to share? I tilt my head. You mean 2 beds? The cat smiles as a response, before turning away from me and walking up to the motel's reception desk. I follow in turn. An older man, likely in his late 50s, rests in a chair behind a thick-looking pane of clear plastic. He likely didn't see us approach, since he hadn't yet lifted his nose out of the book he was reading, a real page-turner by the intensity with which he scanned the pages. Sam giggles to himself, likely seeing an opportunity to cause some mischief. He turns his head back to me, a soft glint reflecting the early evening sun and illuminating his face. And before I can reflect on his next potential action, he slams his fist on the glass once, followed by a flurry of smaller taps. Help me! There's a murderer out here! I think he may be... He turns around to face me, winking coyly before raising his hands to defend himself. No! What a dork! He's a fucking dork. I blink. The cat seems to be satisfied with his prank, but I turn to see the victim and... He's unholstered a handgun and pointed it at me. Instinctively, I throw up my hands. Don't shoot! Ha! Look, I'm... As soon as he grasps the sudden peril he's placed me in, the cat scrambles to his feet, drawing with terrified eyes the man behind the desk. Ah! It was just a prank. Seriously, don't shoot him. The man squints at us for a brief moment before sighing and lowering his gun. Dear Lord, does anyone sane ever visit this town? He shakes his head and returns his gun to the holster on his waist. I keep my mouth shut, unsure of what to say as my adrenaline dies down. You damn kids and your nonsense! He shakes his head again, floppy ears swaying as he does. Y'all got business? If not, get! He raised his hand and I flinched, but to my relief he just points at a no loitering sign just outside his office. You can read, can't you? Well, actually, yeah, I'm gonna do that. You can read, can't you? I couldn't answer him if I tried, as any words I tried to make had caught in my throat. Luckily, Sam seems completely unshaken and chimes in for me. Yep, we went to the room for the weekend. That'd be under Samuel Wong. He leans in a bit closer to the manager's counter. And in an hour or so, he'll be under me. Jesus Christ. This is like some desperate levels of just, oh, it's painful. It's so painful. Alright, y'all, I'm going to pause it right there. Thank y'all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and check out our Patreon if you can. It always helps. Before I go, I'm going to give a quick shout-out to our lovely bronze tier patrons. Thank y'all for all you do for the channel. We greatly appreciate the support. Thank you to our silver tier patron, Cade Silvermoon. Thank you for going a bit above and beyond. It's greatly appreciated. And thank you to our gold tier patron, Amr. You're awesome. We love you. Thank you for subbing to our ultimate tier. Anyway, if y'all want to get your names in the credits, get access to our not safe for work contents as little as $5. Anyway, I love you all, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye-bye!